This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
The After Party live on a Trivia Thursday. Welcome to the party and thank you for hanging out. Please click subscribe if you haven't. Please click like if you haven't. Thank you to everyone who contributes to the After Party Live and keeps the show rolling. And that includes Teacher Lori. And I'm sorry we didn't get to your question with David Katz today, but I'll tell you, I had it in his segment and I saw that you had posted it in the chat and I had a little star by it and everything. And so I apologize that we didn't get to ask him that. Many thanks to Amy P, who set up a recurring payment on PayPal, and it kicks into the show that way. Wes, Meredith D, James S, Jane O, thank you for your recent contributions to the After Party Live. You can find the PayPal information in the show description every single day. It's also in the About tab. And again, many thanks to everyone who sends stories and ideas and contributions to this show. Speaking of which, we did get a message today from, I believe, Tammy. Here it is. Hi, Kim. She writes, I would like to request that we play trivia early today, if possible, because I have to leave the office at 2, and I hate to have to miss trivia. Thank you in advance, and I love the show. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you very much for the compliment. And okay, we'll do trivia early. I do feel like I need to do one story just to make sure that we get it in. And this is the story about this teddy bear. So we'll do this story and then one more, and then we'll jump right into trivia. This story involves a teddy bear that talks. It is an AI teddy bear, AI-powered talking teddy bear. And it gets a little racy, a little randy, says some things maybe that it shouldn't say. It's now been pulled from the market by a Singapore-based company after they found out that it could discuss sexy time and other things that might not be appropriate for kids. They held some test conversations with Kuma. That's a $100 teddy bear powered by OpenAI's ChatGPT 4o chatbot. The bear is made in China. It's marketed by this Singapore-based company called Toy. And the researchers that talked to Kuma said it was very easy to get this bear to discuss sexually explicit topics, including spanking and role play and BDSM and all kinds of things that maybe we don't need everyone to hear about. Yeah. They said they were surprised to find how quickly Kuma would take a single sexual topic that was introduced in the conversation and just go with it, escalating in graphic detail, introducing new sexual concepts of its own. The bear, they said, discussed even more graphic sexual topics in detail, explaining positions, giving instructions on things, on how to make a knot and do other things. Yeah. The scenarios, they say, it disturbingly brought up itself. The researcher said this teddy bear also offered worrisome advice, such as where you could find sharp knives in the house. This is a no-go. The Toy CEO said Kuma Bear and the rest of the company's line of AI-enabled toys have been removed from sale. Shouldn't they have researched that before they took them to market, don't you think? The company is now conducting an internal safety audit, according to CNN. OpenAI says Folo's license to use the GPT product has been suspended for violating their policies. So yeah, don't make the toy if you don't know what to do with it. Meanwhile, there's another story now related. This organization is warning against giving any AI toys to children. They say it might seem like a fun idea, but this nonprofit called Fairplay is urging parents really to avoid any AI-based children's toys this holiday season. The chatbots are embedded in children's toys, like as we see here, plush toys, dolls, action figures, robots. They're designed to communicate in most cases, except for this one, like a friend. They're in Miko, Curio Interactive's Grok and Gabo, Smart Teddy, the Folo toy Kuma Bear, which we see here, Royby, Ki Technologies Luna Robot Dog. Some of them are marketed to babies uh, and small children. They say it's ridiculous to expect young children to avoid potential harm here. That according to Fairplay. Young children are especially susceptible to the potential harms of these toys, such as invading their privacy, collecting data, engendering false trust and friendship, displacing what they need to thrive, human to human interactions, time to play with all of their senses. These can have long and short term impacts on development, according to Fairplay. So I think it's a great idea. Just not, I mean, I know kids like the electronic toys that make noise and light up and whatever else. But AI is a whole different ball game. No AI toys. No. Mm-mm. Fairplay says also AI toys are usually powered by the same AI that has already harmed children, and young children who use them are less equipped to protect themselves than older children and teens. So the AI chatbots, they say, have caused children to use these toys obsessively, have, as we discussed, engaged in explicit conversations, encouraged unsafe behaviors, encouraged violence against others, self harm. None of these things are okay. The AI toys may sabotage children's trust by pretending to be trustworthy companions or friends, and young children are likely to treat connected toys and devices as if they were people and develop an emotional attachment to them. And those relationships can disrupt children's real relationships and resilience by offering genuine friendships, which is not possible from a machine. A child, they say, may talk to the toy, tell it their personal thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires, which all then gets delivered to a third party. They could also record private family conversations or record other children in the room. Some of these toys have facial recognition and video recording that could take some accidental pictures that they're not supposed to. So, yeah, no on the AI toys. All right. From that to this, it is Trivia Thursday, after party style. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's get to it because I want to make sure we get enough time in for Tammy and others that may have to check out early. And I know it seems like Trivia Thursday is popular on the show, right? I think so. Seems like people enjoy it. So let's get to it. One of the first trivia questions I have for today. Oh, let me get to I want to make sure I'm in the chat, that I'm all ready to see these. Whoop, whoop. That's right, John Watson. Here it comes. Okay. What about an old-fashioned Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy? Yeah, as long as it doesn't have AI. Right. Okay. Oh, was it Sandy? I'm sorry. Sandy is the one. Sandy was the message. Of course, I put the message. I have this little show sheet and I copied the message, but not the name. So thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. Okay, Sandy needs to leave early. So here we go with trivia. The first question is, my friends, which country is home to the most lakes in the entire world? Which country is home to the most lakes in the entire world? That would be, yeah. Let's see. Nullifidian has it first. Canada. Canada has 3 million lakes. Isn't that crazy? Canada says Nullifidian. Canada says Uncle Jim. Canada says Gordon. That's correct. Ren has Canada as well. Nicely done. Canada is the answer. They have a lot of lakes in Canada. Which nation takes the longest to eat a meal? Which nation, the people in the nation, takes the longest to eat a meal? Let's see. It is indeed France. Let's see who has it. Sandy has France, and so does Vanessa, and so does Gordon, and so does Nancy, and so does Nullifidian, and Ren, and one that has no food. Good answer, actually. France, says SJ Lola, and Tammy. France is indeed the answer. All right. I was looking up because I had someone tried to question trivia. Uh, what? I'll scroll back. Sandy says 3 million? 3 million lakes? Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking it up, and let's see. While all lake totals by country are estimations, Hydro Lakes reported that Canada has 863,550 lakes measuring more than 24 acres. They say 3 million lakes. I don't know. I'll have to go back and do some research on that. I don't know. That's the answer that I have at this time. Canada has the most mosquitoes too. Boo. All right, next question. Which country today produces the most coffee in the world? Which country today produces the most coffee in the world? It's a trivia revolt. Champagne Kitty also says, I find that hard to believe. All right, we have to look it up now. Let's see. We have a lot of right answers here. Which country today produces the most coffee in the world? Deidre says that would be Brazil, and Deidre is correct. Brazil, says Deidre, and Nullifidian, and John Watson, and Vanessa. Nancy has it. Chris, Uncle Jim, Champagne, Kitty Kitty, and Tammy has it. Cameo has it as well. Nice. Deidre loves her coffee. Okay, good. Then you'll like the next question. Which country did coffee originate from? Where did coffee originally come from? What country? Mexico, Ecuador, Colombia. SJ Lola has the right answer. It is Ethiopia is where coffee originated. Ethiopia, says SJ Lola, and Ren, and Champagne Kitty has Ethiopia as well. That is the right answer. All right. Which countries are referred to as the Baltic states? Which countries are referred to as the Baltic states? Do we know? Oh, John Watson says, yeah, these three: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are correct. And Uncle Jim has it as well. And oopsies, Deidre has it. Almost, but very good. I'll take it. The one's next to the Baltic Sea. SJ Lola says Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Yes. Ren has it as well. Those are the Baltic states. Nice. Latka. Yeah, on taxi. That's right. Okay. Next question. The national dish of Iceland is the rotten meat of this animal. The national dish of Iceland is the rotten meat of this animal. The answer is SJ Lola. Quick to the punch today. Fermented shark. It is rotten shark meat. That is correct. SJ Lola has it. I got a lot of good answers, you guys. But yeah, SJ Lola, winner, chicken dinner, friend. Good job. Yeah. Yuck. I shouldn't say that. How that's very ethnocentric of me. Maybe it is amazing. What should you do after eating a meal in Egypt to send compliments to the chef? What should you do after eating a meal in Egypt to say your compliments to the chef? We have some people who've been to Egypt. Yeah. Burp. You should burp loudly, says SJ Lola. Burp, says JT and John Watson and Jennifer L. Nullifidian has it. Gordon has it. Agent Kitty Feets, hello, has it. Ren has it. Vanessa has it. So does Nancy. Well, kind of a tip in a different way, right? Tammy has it. Champagne Kitty has it. Yeah. Next question. What country in the world makes the most money on tourism? What country makes the most money on tourism? Yes, you guys got it. It is, as Chris Holmes says, the USA. America makes the most money on tourism. Nullifidian has US, Deidre has US, and SJ has US. So does Sandy, Nancy, Jennifer L. Well done. So, building off of that, what state in the US makes the most money on tourism? What state in the United States makes the most money on tourism? It is indeed California, says Deidre. That is correct. John Watson has it. So does Sandy has it. And Ren and Chris and Agent Kitty Feets and JT and Gordon, SJ. Champagne Kitty has California. So does Jennifer L. Nullifidian. Nice. Next question. What country is the most famous for its is not the most, but what country is famous for its fjords? What country is famous for its fjords? Got a Finland, got a Norway, got an Iceland. Nice. There's a Finland. The answer is Norway. SJ Lola's got Norway. That is correct. John Watson has it. Chris has it. Uncle Jim has it. Nullifidian with Norway. Jennifer L. Sandy, Ren, Champagne, Agent Kitty, Jim. Norway is the answer. Suanne. Hello, Suanne. You got it. All right. Next question. What is the name of the famous ancient monument in Athens? What is the name of the famous ancient monument in Athens? John Watson is pining for the fjords. There might be more than one, but I'm looking for a specific one, and Vanessa has it. It is the Parthenon is the answer I'm looking for. The Parthenon is the famous ancient monument in Athens. So Vanessa has Parthenon, Deidre has Parthenon, so does Tammy, so does Jane O, and Ren has it, and Eileen has it. Parthenon is right. And Jim N has it. So does Nullifidian. Uncle Jim says the Parthenon is part of the Acropolis, I believe. Is that so? Well, if that's the case, then everyone's right. All of you are right across the board. Yes. In which country would you find the Trans-Siberian Railway? So we all got it. Yes, Phineas. In which country would you find the Trans-Siberian Railway? That might have been a little too easy, but there is no doubt the answer is Russia. Uncle Jim has it, and so does Deidre and Chris, and I'll bet you everybody gets this right. Everyone gets this one right too. Look at you guys. Vanessa, SJ, John, Tammy. Everyone's got it. I love it. This we just discussed, as a matter of fact. This is for the A students. Which country is famous for its delicious chocolate and waffles? Which country is famous for its delicious chocolate and waffles? Uncle Jim says Belgium. Uncle Jim is right. So is John. So is Vanessa. And Heather and Finn and Eileen and Sandy and Chris and Ren and Champagne and Luis and Valley Star. Hi, Valley Star. Tammy has it. Jane O. And Jim. Thank you. Yes, it is Belgium. It's funny. We just talked about that, right? All right. What is the capital of Australia? What is the capital of Australia? Yeah, that's right. Tammy says I took notes. See, that happens. The answer is Canberra, and Jennifer L has Canberra. Wait, JT has Canberra. So does Uncle Jim. Look at that. Uncle Jim first to the punch on Canberra. Sorry, I had to scroll up a little bit. And then JT, and then Jennifer L, and then Chris H. Well done. Deidre has Canberra as well. Cranberry, no. Canberra. Good job, Canberra peeps, says Ren. Well done. The next question. Which African country is famous for its population of wild gorillas? Which African country is famous for its population of wild gorillas? I'm seeing the answer. SJ Lola says it's Rwanda, and that is correct. Chris has it as well. Rwanda. Rwanda is the answer. All right. And the next question. This one we should know here on the after party. What with our copious study of waterfalls. What is the tallest waterfall in the world? What is the tallest waterfall in the world? I bet I have a picture of it. Yes, I do. Front and center. Here's what it looks like. Did you guys know? It is, yeah. Good job. It is Angel Falls, says Chris, and that is correct. It is Angel Falls, located in Venezuela. Angel Falls, says Jennifer L. That's right. Angel Falls, says John Watson, and SJ Lola, and Nola Fidian. And yeah. And oh, it's beautiful. And apparently the tallest in the world, Angel Falls in Venezuela. You could even see the water coming down at the bottom of the screen. Oh, incredible. I almost don't want to leave the picture. It's so pretty. But I'll put the trivia picture back up for Trivia Thursday. Just a couple more questions. Let's see. How about this? Who was the first explorer to circumnavigate the globe? Which explorer led the first expedition, I should say, to circumnavigate the globe? And if you haven't figured it out, this is travel trivia. Which explorer led the first expedition to circumnavigate the globe? And the answer is Ferdinand Magellan. Deidre has it. Well done. Ren has it. SJ has it. Sandy has it. Jennifer L has it. John Watson. Nullifidian. Kitty. Agent Kitty. Magellan says John Slade. Nice. Valley Star has it. Uncle Jim has it. Jane O has it. Donna has it. Teacher Lori, welcome to the party, has it. Uncle Jim says, but he died on the way to the Philippines. Oh, no. Died on the way. Didn't quite make it, but he led it, right? He started out the party. All right. We'll do another question. How about this one? This doesn't seem really... Here. Some of these are super easy. I don't know. In which country is Swahili widely spoken? In which country is Swahili widely spoken? Starts with a T. In which country is Swahili? Yeah, largely spoken. And this is Tanzania. And Chris has it. I believe Chris has it first, and then SJ, and then Nullifidian has it. Ren, Nancy, Rev, John Slade, Tanzania, says Vanessa. That is correct. Teacher Lori knew it. So did Phineas. Hi, Muriel. Muriel knew it too. Phineas has it. Tarzanania, kind of. Yes. Oh, cool. I love a good accent. Very nice. All right. Should we do one more? I don't want to make it too easy. I don't want to make it too hard. How about this one? What is the name of the famous luxury train in Southeast Asia? What is the name of the famous luxury train in Southeast Asia? Okay, I'm seeing some good answers. The official name is the Eastern and Oriental Express. But we have here, which I shall accept, the Orient Express, says Chris. Sure, I'll take it. And so does JT has it. So does Deidre and Donna, Ren, John Watson, Phineas, Sandy, Jane O, very well done. Jennifer L has it. So does Rev. So does Tammy. So does Valley Star. Orient Express, says Nancy and SJ. And Oriented, I know what you meant. Yeah, you got it. Murder on the Orient Express. Nice. Oh, you're much more than ornamental, Rev. We need you around these parts. Thus ends Trivia Thursday after party style. That's a healthy 20 minutes of trivia. And thank you so much to Sandy for requesting it early. I will always try to give you what you need. So thank you for the request. And I hope you enjoyed the trivia. And that, my friends, is Trivia After Party style. I want to talk about this lady. She just won a Guinness World Record. She has the largest afro in the world. Pretty big. Yep. This woman is from New York. Her afro hairstyle is officially the world's largest. And she gets the big prize. Her afro measures 6 feet, 2.87 inches in circumference. That doesn't look like 6 feet to me, does it? Or does it look like 6 feet to you in circumference? That's what they say, 6 feet, 2.87 inches. So, yeah, she is the largest afro in the world. The Her name is Avon Dugas. She's from New York. It is the title she has is the largest afro on a living person. And she visited a New York hair salon to officially pass the torch to the new holder. This is the new holder. Her name is Jessica. Jessica's mane of curls measures 11.42 inches tall, 12.2 inches wide, and 6 feet 2.87 inches in circumference. So, Dugas held the title for 15 years, and now Jessica Martinez holds the title of the world's largest afro. Okay. I have this story. It's a video about this bear that chased an 11-year-old child into a Family Dollar store in Pennsylvania. Just crazy. And they managed to get out okay, but I wanted to share the story with you because it's wild. Let me take our hairstyle friend down so you can see this. Check this out.
Allegheny County has quite a tale to tell.
Yeah, the 11-year-old says he was walking outside of a dollar store when he came face to face with a huge bear. Cole Frazee is his name. He says he and his dad stopped at the store to get a few items. Cole went inside to see what was taking his dad so long, and that's when he saw a black bear looking right at him.
And it runs after me. I turn around, I run in the store. I'm like screaming and stuff. This thing was like 1.5 feet away from me. I took a left and the bear went straight.
Ooh, that is scary. Well, Cole says he raced up and down the aisles trying to escape that huge bear. And then the bear headed toward the back of the store, and that's when Cole and a cashier, they bolted outside into a nearby car, and the bear eventually wandered off. Cole now says he'll forever be known as the boy who outran a bear and lived
to tell the tale. The clerk, they said, grabbed the keys and ran out from behind that counter, and seconds later the bear jumped over the counter. So there was a lot of good saves in this story, man. Yeah, the bear in the Family Dollar store. Oh, it was a bad scene in that area. Can we talk for a moment about language and how important language is to our brains and keeping our brains from aging? I thought this story was really cool. It almost makes you want to, if you don't have a language, a second language, makes you want to pick one up. Neuroscientists studied more than 80,000 people, and they found that speaking multiple languages might slow down brain aging. It's an enormous analysis of data from what they call a broad array of participants, and leads to this finding of an association between multilingualism and cognitive aging. So good on you if you speak another language. Well done. Usually when they talk about healthy brain aging, they say, eat well, stay active, maintain social connections. But now learning another language can be added to that list. A study published November 10th in the journal Nature Aging indicates that encouraging multilingualism could be a beneficial public health strategy. Now, previous studies have been done that indicated speaking multiple languages can help guard memory and attention, but because of the small sample sizes, it was an inadequate way of measuring aging. But by analyzing survey data from more than 86,000 healthy individuals aged 51 to age 90 in 27 different countries across Europe, the team behind the recent paper, they say, avoided some of the pitfalls of the earlier studies. No study of this scale had been done before. And so this demonstrates to them quite decisively, they say, that being multilingual will help. The research team behind this new work determined the difference between each participant's actual chronological age and their predicted age based on health and lifestyle factors. If someone's predicted age was much higher than their chronological age, then they're aging faster than expected, which may heighten their risk for age-related diseases. But scientists examined each participant's gap between their chronological and predicted ages in relation to the number of languages they spoke based on self-reporting. And the computer analysis suggested that multilingual speakers are about half as likely to experience accelerated aging compared with those who speak only one language. The protective effect of multilingualism stuck around even when researchers accounted for country-level linguistic, physical, social, socio-political factors, air quality, gender equality. So the more languages one speaks, the better. Each additional language provided measurable protection, according to the study co-author at Trinity College in Dublin. Speaking several languages continuously exercises multiple systems, forces you to manage attention, inhibit interference, and switch between linguistic rules, all of which strengthen the networks that tend to weaken with age. The researchers are now urging policymakers to integrate language learning into their health and education strategies, with a particular significance for English-speaking countries. Because while 50 to 70% of the world is multilingual, most native English speakers are monolingual. Not good. No, it's true. I guess we think that we don't have to speak other languages because English is the language. No. You know, we did this story earlier about moss and how it's an untapped resource in criminal investigations because it sucks up everything around it, all the nutrients around it, the air, the liquid, the moisture, and then holds it. Well, now I have another story about moss. And it's pretty surprising to researchers that sent moss up into space. It survived 283 days in space, and biologists did not expect that to happen. The moss plant passed an intergalactic test. It went up on the Cygnus NG-17 spacecraft. A team from Hokkaido University in Japan sent several moss reproductive structures called sporophytes into space on the Cygnus. 80% of the spores survived for 9 months outside of the International Space Station. The spores even returned to Earth, still capable of reproducing. The biologists involved detailed the findings in the study published today in the journal iScience. They say most living organisms, including humans, can't survive even briefly in the vacuum of space. But the moss spores retained their vitality after 9 months of direct exposure, providing striking evidence that the life that has evolved on Earth possesses, at the cellular level, intrinsic mechanisms to endure the conditions of space. That's pretty cool. I don't know what they're going to do with that. They could use moss to grow something or be edible, or I don't know, something. They said they anticipated, the folks that sent the moss up to space, the combined stresses of space, including vacuum, cosmic radiation, extreme temperature fluctuations, microgravity, and they thought all of those things would cause far greater damage than any single stress alone. The UV radiation proved to be the toughest element, but the sporophytes were the most resilient of the 3 moss parts that they sent. All of the juvenile moss died from UV levels or extreme temperatures, but the brood cells had a higher survival rate than the juvenile moss. The sporophytes still exhibited about 1,000 times more tolerance to UV radiation. The spores, they said, could even survive and germinate after being exposed to temperatures of minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit for over a week, as well as living in high temperatures as high as 131 degrees for a month. The surrounding spore structure appears to serve as a protective barrier, absorbing UV radiation physically and chemically covering the inner spore to prevent damage. This coating is likely an evolutionary adaptation that allowed the group of plants that belong to moss and brophytes to transition from aquatic to terrestrial plants 500 million years ago. Moss, they say, has survived several mass extinctions here on Earth, several mass extinction events ever since. So I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that if moss can survive all that, what's space to moss, right? Yeah, they can handle it. All right, that is the After Party Live for today. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you later tonight. Why I always forget. The Nikki Maduro Show is at 5 p.m. Cocktails, mocktails, politics. Please join us. If you haven't subscribed to that show, please do. It's so much fun. Please join me at 5 p.m. with Nikki Maduro this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, here on YouTube. The Nikki Maduro Show. I spell it out for you. There it is, the Nikki Maduro Show, 5 p.m. today. Would love to have you along for the conversation. And then tomorrow, Friday, fabulous Florida. Michael Schur and Mo Kelly will be talking about this week in politics. Michael Snyder will be along. That's on the Mark Thompson Show. And then, of course, here on the After Party Live, we welcome Tim Sika to talk movies. But until we meet again in just a couple hours, right here, back on YouTube, make it the very best day you can.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.